Pastel balloons swayed gently above rows of tables draped in white lace. The air smelled of vanilla frosting and fresh flowers, a sweet scent that clung to my throat. My baby shower looked like something from a magazine spread. Soft pink and blue streamers, a photo booth with tiny chalkboards for guests to hold, a cake sculpted into a cradle. Months of planning had gone into this, and for a few minutes I actually felt safe in the warmth of all the people gathered to celebrate the tiny life kicking inside me. But there was a tension under the surface, a static I couldn't quite name. My mother-in-law sat at the center table, her spine straight, lips pursed. She hadn't smiled once. Even as people handed me presents, she just watched. She had always been like that, measured, cold, picking at my choices with the precision of a surgeon. Too ambitious, too independent, too different from the women she thought her son should marry. I tried to block her out, focusing on my sister cracking jokes, my best friend snapping pictures for Instagram, the soft buzz of conversation. For a moment, I let myself believe that maybe today she would behave, that maybe this would be a day of peace. Then she stood up. It was almost theatrical. Her chair scraped loudly against the floor, slicing through the music. The chatter died. She straightened her blazer, took a deep breath, and in a voice that filled the hall announced, "We need a paternity test." It was like a glass shattering in slow motion. Every smile froze. Forks hovered mid-air. A balloon popped somewhere in the corner and everyone jumped. My sister gasped. My best friend's mouth fell open. Someone whispered, "Did she just?" I stared at her, my hand automatically moving to my belly as if I could shield the baby from her words. The pastel world around me blurred. The smell of frosting turned sour in my nose. My ears rang with my own heartbeat. "What did you say?" My voice came out quiet but sharp, cutting through the silence. She lifted her chin. "A paternity test, before my son is trapped in something that might not even be his." She said something like my child was a piece of furniture. Her eyes were bright, triumphant, as if she had been rehearsing this. My husband, her son, Daniel, stood off to the side with a paper plate in his hand, eyes darting between us. "Mom," he muttered, but didn't finish. He didn't move toward me, didn't tell her to stop. His silence burned worse than her accusation. Inside my head, a storm raged. Is this real? In front of everyone? My friends, my family, his coworkers? My cheeks flushed hot. My hands trembled. The baby kicked, a sharp reminder that I wasn't alone in this humiliation. I took a shaky breath. "A paternity test?" I repeated, louder this time. The guests leaned forward, hungry for what would happen next. "Yes," she said firmly, "for everyone's sake, to be sure." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Some eyes looked at me with pity, others with suspicion. My sister's hand found mine under the table, squeezing, but even she looked stunned. For a second, I wanted to run, to hide in the bathroom and sob. But a deeper voice inside me whispered, "If you stay silent now, you teach your child to accept disrespect." That thought cut through the fog like sunlight. My tears dried before they could fall. My spine straightened. I stood slowly, smoothing my dress. "You want a test," I said, my tone steady now. "You'll get one. But first, everyone here deserves the full picture." Gasps. A woman in the back whispered, "She is about to drop something." Daniel stiffened. "Honey," he started. I cut him off. "6 months ago, when you said you were on a business trip, I found hotel receipts, texts, pictures. The glow of the screen illuminated his face, pale, panicked. I turned the phone so the nearest guest could see the messages, dated and time-stamped, his words to another woman, photos from hotel rooms. The room erupted in shocked whispers. Daniel reached out, his voice cracking. "It's not what you think." "It's exactly what I think," I said. louder now, my voice filling the hall. I kept quiet because I believed in us. I stayed even after your betrayal, and still your mother calls me a liar. My mother-in-law's lips parted, but no sound came. For the first time since I had met her, she looked uncertain. I stepped toward the center of the room, one hand on my belly. Yes, this baby is yours, Daniel. I can prove that 1,000 ways. But after today, I'm done begging for trust I already earned. You wanted to be free? You're free. I'll raise this baby with or without you. The silence was thick, electric. Someone clapped nervously, then another. The sound spread until half the room was applauding, not because it was a show, but because they were witnessing a woman taking her power back in real time. Daniel's voice cracked. Please, we can fix this. No, I said firmly. You'll get the test. And when it proves you're the father, you'll also get divorce papers because loyalty is not a one-way street. My mother-in-law's hands trembled. I was just trying to protect my son, she whispered. Protect him from what? I asked quietly. From the consequences of his choices? Or from the idea that a woman he hurt might still be stronger than both of you? She looked down. No answer. Daniel stood there, lips parted, unable to move. I turned to the guests. I'm sorry you all had to see this. This was supposed to be a celebration. And it still is, just a different kind. Today, I'm celebrating my voice. My child will be born into a world where its mother stands tall. The applause swelled again. My sister hugged me, whispering, "You're incredible." Friends gathered close, creating a small fortress of support around me. My mother-in-law slipped out the door. Daniel followed a few moments later. We cut the cake. We opened the gifts. The laughter that returned wasn't forced. It was real, bright, cathartic. People stayed longer than planned, rallying around me. My aunt whispered, "You're stronger than you know." My best friend offered to help me move if I needed it. For the first time in months, I felt not alone, but supported. That night, alone in the nursery, I rested my hands on the crib rail. The room smelled of fresh paint and baby powder. The baby kicked a steady thump under my palm. Tears came, but they were warm, cleansing, not bitter. "We're okay," I whispered. "We're already rewriting our story." In the days that followed, Daniel called and texted. At first, he begged, then he blamed, then he apologized. His mother sent a message through my sister saying she never meant it to go so far. I didn't reply. The paternity test came back, of course, confirming what I always known, but by then the papers were already filed. Freedom had a strange, quiet taste, like standing in a new house before the furniture arrives. Here's what I learned standing in that room, humiliated but unbroken. Being doubted can either crush you or clarify you, and clarity is power. All the months of buttoning myself small to fit someone else's idea of a good wife ended in a single public moment, and I discovered a spine of steel I didn't know I had. If you're watching this and you've ever been shamed, doubted, or silenced, let this be your sign. You don't owe your silence to anyone. You can stand up, speak the truth, and walk out stronger. Share this with someone who needs it, because somewhere out there, another person is at their baby shower moment thinking they're powerless. Show them they're not. Show them strength is contagious, and it can start with you.